Hello and welcome once again to the hard Brexit scenario on Football Manager 2020, where the UK has left UEFA, left to fend for itself, created its own Champions League and its own new league system and whatnot, and we're going to have a good look at that league system today because it is the traditional end of season Roll of Champions edition, where we take a look at every single team that has won leagues that are part of the hard Brexit scenario. We're going to find out the 85 teams that have qualified for the Brexit Champions League for next season. So, without further ado, let us go to our first country, which is Anguilla, and the Anguillan Senior League, which for the third season running has been won by Ballers. With 69 points, a good lead over second place Kicks United, who have instead qualified for the Empire League themselves. It's Salsa Ballers as well, so it's not just Ballers, it's Salsa Ballers, which makes the name even better, if you ask me. Next country, it's Bermuda, and the Bermudan Premier Division was won by PHC ZEBRAS, who have won the title for the first time in 2 years, because they won it for the first 2 years, but they lost it last season to, can't remember who it was, I think it was North Village Rams actually. I'll just take a look. Yeah, and they've gained it back, and North Village Rams instead have dropped down to 4th place, so unlucky for them. Dandytown Hornets take 2nd spot and qualify for the Empire League. Into the British Virgin Islands now, and their Premier League was won by Islanders, who I believe have won it quite a few times, if I was to hazard a guess. Yes, well, they've won it for the last 2 seasons anyway. So Islanders won it. BG Ball Stars come second and qualify for the Empire League, while relegated Rebels, once again, they're back down into the 2nd tier. Click on the right button. Cayman Islands, the CIFA Premier League, was won by Academy, with the Elite coming second. Academy have no more records. That's their 2nd in a row for them. So a decent run for Academy. 2nd season in the Champions League. We'll check Gibraltar now. The one British territory in Europe that actually has a league anyway. For the 4th season running, it's been won by Europa FC. They won it with 57 points, a good, 18 points clear of College 75, who finished in 2nd and get to enter the Empire League for the first time. So well done to them. And we'll obviously have a look at the other ones later. Well, the best of the bottom half, Magpies. If they'd have finished 3rd if the split hadn't happened, so well done to them, although that was all against the lower tier teams and not the upper tier teams. In Montserrat, we have a playoff system for their championship, the only trophy available in Montserrat. We'll have a look at the table to start with the qualifiers for the playoffs being Police, MVO Tremors, Elberton and Ideal, and in the semi-finals of the playoffs, MVO Tremors beat Elberton on penalties, while Police beat Ideal 1-0, and then in the final, we had Police winning 2-1 over MVO Tremors at the PC United Stadium in Brades, or Braids, don't know how it's pronounced. Built in 2020, another one of the new stadiums on the game. But there's your qualifiers for the Champions League and Empire League. While in Turks and Caicos Islands, their Premier League, it's another one that has a playoff, but it's the one with the weird playoff, as we know, because basically every team in the league qualifies apart from the bottom team. That bottom team was Flamingo in the playoffs. In the quarterfinals, we had Beaches beat Academy Eagles and Full Physic beat Academy Jaguars, so the 2 Academy teams eliminated in the semi-finals. Full Physic beat SWA Sharks after extra time, and Cheshire Hall beat Beaches on penalties, and then in the final of the playoffs, Full Physic won 2-0 over Cheshire Hall at the Academy Eagles Stadium in Providenciales. So well done to them, and well done to Cheshire Hall for getting to the Empire League, even though I think they finished top of the actual table. So unlucky to them. Over to the British territories now, and we go and see who's qualified from these ones. For the first time, the Isle of Man League has been won by Laxey, with Douglas Royal finishing second, taking the Empire League spot. Guernsey Priok League, I think that's how you pronounce it. Guernsey finishing top once again, losing only one game all season, and finishing 9 points clear of second place Vale Recreation, who take the Empire League spot. In the Jersey football combination, St Owen, normally a bridesmaid, but this season they are the bride. They have won it for the first time on goal difference. A single goal separated them and Grouville in second. So well done to St Owen, finally winning the league. I think they've been there and thereabouts each season, apart from the second season apparently. But yeah, well done to them. Jersey Bulls, they've really gone off the boil, dropping. They were the original champions, and now they're 9th. So not a good season for them. In the Pitcairn Islands National Championship, we'll take a look at the league table. So the group, the 14 group, saw Dulce Island and Pitcairn Island qualify for the final. Ueno Island missing out this time. And then in the final, Pitcairn Island beat Dulce Island on penalties after a 1-1 draw at the Akrotiri Stadium in Akrotiri. Speaking of Akrotiri and Dikelia, their one went as follows. 2 groups here, 2 groups of 4, with Cape Zevgari winning Group A and Kingsfield Airfield winning Group B. Those 2 teams played off in the final at the Fire FC Stadium in Stanley in the Falkland Islands. Cape Zevgari winning it 3-0 to win the title for the second time. Kingsfield Airfield qualifying for the Empire League for the second time. So well done to those teams. In the St Helena Championship Shield, the Wirebirds were winners with a single point ahead of Ascension Island. FC Lakers, who've won it for the 3 other seasons, have dropped down to 3rd place and have missed out on both Champions and Empire League next season. So for Wirebirds win it for the first time, but it's not their first time in the Champions League. They were the initial competitors for St Helena. In the Falkland Islands, House Bashers have done it again. 4 seasons in a row, 46 points, 3 points clear of Malvina House Hotel, who are runners-up for the 2nd season in a row. So the same qualifiers for the competitions as last season. The Delhi down in 10th, unfortunately, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 8th. In the South Georgia Football Championship, Leaf Harbour have won the league, I think, for the 2nd season running. That is correct. With Candlemas Islands, the former winners, in 2nd place, 10 points behind them, qualifying for the Empire League. In the British Antarctic, we already knew this one in the British Antarctic Football Tournament, with the Greens beating the Reds 2-1 in the final at the Bellboys Stadium in St Helena. And finally, in the British Indian Ocean Champions Trophy, Danger Island were the winners. Let's have a look and see how the groups were. So in Group A, Peros Banhos beat Three Brothers by a single point to get to the final, while Danger Island also did it by a single point against Eagle Islands. And then in the final, Danger Island won 2-0 at the Falkland Rangers Stadium in Stanley. Now, obviously, there's the FA Cup or the British Territories Challenge Cup. We'll have a look at that one in the next edition when we see all the cup winners. Over to the mainland, Northern Ireland, County Antrim Premier Division. And once again, it has been won by Ballymena United, who were 2 points clear of Larne, who just missed out on it. And if they'd have got ahead of them, their goal difference was much better. So it's unfortunate for Larne, but they've missed out. Carrick Rangers in 3rd place, Distillery in 4th, although Carrick finishing on 100 points as well. So well done to them. Relegated Crew United, Michelin and Chimney Corner. While in County Armagh, Glenavon are champions once again. 4 seasons running for them, 94 points, 4 points clear of Portadown in 2nd on 90, and then a bit of distance between them and 3rd place Armagh. Ambassadors and Rectory Rangers relegated to the 2nd tier there. In County Down, we have Ards. We have new champions for the first time in County Down, with Ards winning the title, finishing 3 points clear of perennial champions Newry City AFC. So well done to them. Newry City having settled for the Empire League for the first time. Warren Point finished only a point behind them, and Bangor in 4th. Relegation for Ballynahinch OLY. I'm guessing that's Olympic. Yep. And Dromore Arms and Rathfriland. County Fermanagh. No changing of the guard here. Ballina Mallet United winning it once again, finishing on 110 points, almost over 40 points clear. Sorry, they're 43 points clear of Lisbon United, who despite having such a great season, they did lose 10-0 to Manchester United in the Empire League. So not too good. Enniskillen Galaxy finishing third. County London Derry. We have Institute. We have new champions there as well. A changing of the guard with Institute overcoming Coleraine as champions, finishing a point ahead of them. Limavady United in third on 70 points, 14 points behind second place. New Buildings and Trojans relegated to the championship there. County Tyrone, Dungannon Swifts have won their fourth title in a row, finishing 28 points clear of Dergview, who have qualified for the Empire League in second. Mountjoy United were a few points behind them, and Straw United in fourth. Foyle Wanderers and 5 Mile Town have been relegated. Finally, in Northern Ireland, the Belfast Premiership, and Linfield are champions once again. After losing the initial season, they've done 3 in a row since then and demolished the competition. They finished only 4 points clear of Crusaders, though, in second. Glentoran finished third on 104. Cliftonville in fourth. Obviously, these are some of the best teams in Northern Ireland are, so it is quite a competitive division. Relegation, however, for Rathcoole, Immaculata, Woodvale and Ballynure Old Boys. And that's it for Northern Ireland. Championship. We're not going to look at the lower tiers today. In Wales, the Clwyd Premier, expect a few of the same winners here. So such as Wrexham, I believe they were already champions when we last checked. They finished on 112 points, several points clear of Connors Quay Nomads in second, who finished on 81 points, but Connors Quay qualify for the Empire League this season. Seffins Druids in third, Colwyn Bay fourth, Llandudno in fifth, and there's also other slightly big Welsh teams such as Prestatyn in seventh, Airbus UK in 10th, and Rill down in 15th. Ruffin, previous runners-up, in 16th. Relegation, though, for Rill Youth, Kinmel Bay and Chirk. Dyfed, we have different champions regularly here. Haverfordwest County have done it for the first time, finishing 3 points clear of second and third place Aberystwyth Town and Penryncoch. Previous champions for the last 2 seasons, Abererun finished 4th on 67, while Carmarthen Town in 5th on 66. A good season there. Cardigan, Borth and Bow Street all sent down to the second tier. In Gwent, pretty sure we already knew these champions. Newport County, 90 points. They were 35 points clear of second place Undy, who have taken second place for, I think it's the 3rd season possibly for them. Yep, three seasons they have been runners up. Cumbria and Celtic in third, Abergavenny in fourth. Newport City and Caldercote are the teams going down. Gwynedd, another perennial winner. Bangor City, 110 points, finishing 16 points clear of Barla Town in second. Carnarvon in third, Portmadoc in fourth. Going down, Boderdern, Holyhead Town and Blaenau Festiniog. So unlucky those teams. Mid Glamorgan, Merthyr Town, they've won their 4th in a row. Undefeated all season, 106 points, decent run of it, and well ahead of Kirau in second, who finished on 83. Pennybont were third, Pontypridd fourth, but big gaps between each of those. Max United, Pennydown BGC and Lewd Coed were the teams going down. Powys, Newtown have done it again. They've finished, I think it's 16 points clear of Waterloo Rovers in second. I think that's Waterloo's first second place finish though, so well done to them. They get to enter the Empire League for the first time. Rhayader third, Clanraider in fourth, Welshpool fifth, and then going down, Llanidloes, Llanfillan, Llandrydnod, Dodwells, apologies there if I mispronounced that, probably did, and Montgomery, they've all been relegated to the Championship. South Glamorgan Premier, Cardiff City, champions, obviously won every match, only conceded 3 goals all season, which is quite a lot for them to concede even 3 goals, and all to quite low teams, and they finished on 102 points. Barry Town were second on 77, third Dinas Powys, and fourth Trebanog, both of those on 68 points. Cardiff Corries and Cardiff Draconians will be sent down to the second tier, so it's only really the main Cardiff team that have been doing the major moving, if you will, although Cardiff Met Uni did finish in 6th. West Glamorgan, you know who's won this one. Swansea, another 100% record all season. Same goals conceded for them, 3 goals. 2 of them against Kilvey Fords. They finished on 114 points because they have more games to play. Second place, Neath, on 70 points. Kilvey Fords in 3rd, Port Talbot down in 4th this season. Afan Lido in 5th. Swansea Uni, Istradginlay and Roxburgh all relegated. And that is the Welsh roundup. So let's move to Scotland now and see who has won what there. So in Angus, we have new champions. Dundee United have done it for the first time, overtaking then the literal neighbours Dundee by 3 points this season. Arbroath finished 3rd, Montrose 4th, Forfar 5th. Oh, that's a hard one to say. Brecon 6th. Relegation for Dundee University, Monteith and Carnoustie. In Ayrshire, Kilmarnock have done it again, 113 points. They've finished 12 points clear of Ayr United in Ayrshire. Irvine Meadow finished 3rd, and then a massive gap between 3rd and 4th. 4th, 5th and 6th, all finishing on 55 points. Kilburney, Ladeside, Largs, Thistle and Dunipace. Relegation for Maybolg and Cumnock. Central Scotland, Falkirk, they've regained their title on goal difference from Alloa Athletic. That's probably fine for Alloa. They've done better in the Empire League anyway, and they get another shot at the Empire League next season. Stenhouseman finished 3rd, Stirling 4th and East Stirling 5th. No relegation in this one. While in Dumfries and Galloway, also no relegation, but we have the same champion as usual. Queen of the South have done it again, 16 points clear of 2nd place Stranraer, 96 to 80. Stranraer finish a point ahead of Annan Athletic in 3rd, and then it's Dalbeattie Star and Gretna in 4th and 5th. Fife, Dunfermline Athletic, champions once again. I think they've regained their title. Rafe won it last year, didn't they? Dunfermline have done it every season. I might be thinking of a different tournament, but they've won it and were 3 points clear of Rafe Rovers in 2nd. East Fife have taken 3rd place with 100 points, and then it's Kelty Hearts doing it for the non-league, as we know. Also no relegation there. Another one with no relegation, but I think we knew who was going to win it, or at least one of the teams that was going to win it. Celtic have won the Glasgow Premiership, finishing on 122 points, 5 points clear in the end of Rangers, who lost 1 game all season. I bet I know who that was too. Yep, Celtic 4-1 against Celtic there. Rangers finishing 2nd, 3rd, Partick Thistle on 110, Dumbarton 4th on 106, so 4 teams finishing on over 100 points, and then Rob Roy finishing ahead of Queen's Park. Well done to them. Grampian, Aberdeen champions, 100% record, 42 wins out of 42, 126 points, and still only 19 points clear of 2nd place Peterhead, who finished on 107. Elgin City also finished over 100 points in 3rd, then it's Formartine United, Fraserburgh and Cove Rangers. Keith, East End and Stonehaven are all sent packing down to the Championship. In the Highlands and Islands, Ross County have won it once again. Is it every year for them? Yep, it's the top 3 have been the same all through the years. We'll have a proper look at that on a future episode, which I'll tell you about that another time. Inverness Caledonian Official finishing 2nd on 108, 4 points behind Ross County. Brora in 3rd for the 4th season running. Nairn, St Ninian, Thurso and Contin all relegated to the 2nd tier. Lanarkshire and Motherwell have done it again, finishing on 119 points despite losing 3 matches during the season. And those were to Airdrie and Hamilton, so the other 2 big teams in the division. And those 2 teams finished 2nd and 3rd respectively. Airdrie on 104 points, Hamilton on 98 points. Albion and Clyde also in the running on in 4th and 5th. East Kilbride on 6th. Newlands United and Lanark United, unfortunately, relegated. Lothian and the Edinburgh Spoils have gone to Hibernian this season on 108 points. They finished unbeaten, drawing 3 games and finishing a good 5 points clear of city rivals Heart of Midlothian. Livingston are 3rd on 97, and then a bit of a gap between them and Edinburgh City in 4th. Relegation for Penicuik, Haddington Athletic and Dunbar United. Perthshire, we knew who won this one. St Johnstone were already champions, I believe, last time we checked. They finished on 106 points, only I say only 23 points clear of Kinnoul in second, which is quite a small gap considering some of these teams. Genefield Swifts in third, obviously no relegation there because there's only 7 teams in Perthshire. Renfrewshire, obviously they have a different system, a playoff system, top 4 qualify for it. St Mirren, Morton and Clydebank were already there, and Renfrew joined them in the end. I think St Mirren and Morton were already there. Clydebank and Renfrew joined them in the end. In the playoffs, the semi-finals, Morton beat Clydebank after extra time and St Mirren beat Renfrew easily. And then in the final, at Rugby Park in Kilmarnock, St Mirren beat Morton 2-1 after extra time to win the championship, or the premiership to be more exact. In the Scottish Borders, Gala Fairydean Rovers, champions once again, with a 21-point lead at the top over Vale of Leven. So that's how that one's ended. And that is Scotland. So let's finally have a look at the English champions and who the final 40 qualifiers for the Brexit Champions League and Empire League are. Few of these will be the obvious ones, and there is a big surprise coming up in a few, which I'm very happy about. Luton Town have won it. That's the obvious one. 11 points clear of Leighton in second. So Leighton qualify for their second Empire League, I believe. Yeah, second in a row for Leighton, so well done to them. Biggleswade Town in third, AFC Dunstable fourth, Biggleswade in general in fifth. There's like literally only 6 points separating third to sixth being Barton Rovers. In Berkshire, Reading, I believe they had already won it, in fact, last time we checked, or were close to. They got a 100% record all season, 84 points. They do restock their squad quite well each season, judging from some of those transfer window news anyway. Maidenhead, 67 points in second, Hungerford 57 points in third, Slough in fourth on 55. In fact, third to sixth were all quite close together, just like in the other one. Bristol and Gloucestershire. Bristol City held on, but Forest Green finished the season unbeaten and finished only 3 points behind Bristol City. So well done to Forest Green. They almost did it. Maybe next year will be their year. As Bristol City qualify for the Brexit Champions League once more, but the Empire League gets Forest Green again for the first time in a few years. Relegation for Bishop's Cleeve and Bristol Manor Farm, unfortunately for them. In Buckinghamshire, Wycombe Wanderers were the team to do it, unbeaten all season, with a 5-point lead in the end over Milton Keynes Dons. Chesham United were the best of the rest on 62. Beaconsfield were behind them, 7 points behind them to be exact, on 55. Cambridgeshire, here's the surprising one. Top, not surprising. Peterborough United finished unbeaten with 100 points. Then comes the surprising one. Cambridge missed out on the Empire League for the first time. Instead, second place, Peterborough Northern Star. They did it. They actually did. We get our first proper surprise entrant into the Empire League. Peterborough Northern Star. Well done to them. Quite happy. Despite the fact that Cambridge only lost one game all season, they drew way too many. So Peterborough Northern Star, they're through. They get extra football next season. Cheshire, Crewe were champions there, 6 points clear of Macclesfield Town, 86 points to 80, and then a bit of a distance between them and Chester in third on 68. Northwich and Rylands were relegated to the second tier. Cornwall, Truro, we knew they were going to be champions. In the end, they were 43 points clear at the top, ahead of Godolphin in second. Bodmin third and Saltash fourth, with the points being 47, 46, 45 between second and fourth. Also 42 points for fifth place Mousehole as well. Cumbria, Carlisle have regained the title after losing it to Barrow for the last couple of seasons, and last year Barrow ran away with it. Carlisle kept up with them this season and in the end overtook them to win the league by 3 points. 77 points they finished on. Barrow finished on 74. And then a bit of a gap between them and third place Workington. Derbyshire and Derby champions. 96 points to Chesterfield's 90 points. Well done to Derby, winning that once again. 6 points clear. Then there's a 20-point gap between Chesterfield and Alfreton in third. 90 points to 70 points. Mickleover a distance behind them as well. Glossop and Shirebrook are the teams going down in that division. Devon, Plymouth have won it. I think that's for the fourth season running. Yeah, so They got that easily. They finished on 100 points, 6 points clear of second and third. That was the battle that was a bit closer, with Exeter finishing ahead of Torquay on goal difference, 5 points better, 5 goals better off to be exact, ahead of Torquay, both of them finishing on 94 points. Tiverton Town, the best of the rest, on 67 points. Dorset, Bournemouth, 100% record. They did it again. 10 points clear of Weymouth in second. And yeah, that was pretty fairly obvious one. Weymouth, they were pretty much guaranteed second after a while, finishing 15 points clear of third place Dorchester. Durham, and this season it's Hartlepool regaining their title. Darlington were winners last season. They had to settle for second place this season. Hartlepool were on 105 in the end. Darlington on 96. Spennymoor were third on 92, and Stockton were also on 92, but the goal difference was not in their favour. In Essex, Southend were champions, 85 points. They've got, I think that's the third in a row for Southend, after Colchester did it in the first season. So they've pretty much cemented themselves as the Essex powerhouse. Colchester finished second on 79 points. Chelmsford in third on 72. Billericay in fourth on 67. Braintree, the early pace setters, settling for fifth place on 56. Greater London, Chelsea could not do an invincible season. Their unbeaten streak was ended by, you guessed it, Arsenal in second place. So Arsenal stopped Chelsea being an invincible. But Arsenal did take second place, but it was 13 points the gap between the two. Chelsea 30 on 97, Arsenal on 84 points. Crystal Palace in third place, so well done to them on 77, finishing 2 points ahead of Tottenham Hotspur, who have dropped a bit after winning the first one. They've not finished in the top two since. I don't believe. West Ham in 5th, Fulham 6th, Brentford in 7th. So everyone's kind of where they're supposed to be, apart from Palace being ahead of Tottenham at the moment. Relegation for Dulwich Hamlet, Wealdstone, and unfortunately the Metropolitan Police, who couldn't even get double figures in points this season. Only one win against Wealdstone and 4 draws against only no one big enough to really make a difference. 2 of the promoted teams did stay up though, Leyton Orient and Kingstonian, so well done to them. Greater Manchester, and Manchester United threw it away. They were unbeaten and top of the table, close in clear last time we checked, but Manchester City overtook them by beating them, and then Manchester United lost to Bolton, which ended up throwing away their title, and Man City won the league by 2 points. And then the best of the rest were Oldham Athletic, who showed such promise at the start of the season, but unfortunately for them, they dropped off, finishing on 65 points, 1 point clear of Wigan and 2 points clear of Bolton. Salford, the best of the rest in there. Radcliffe, Ashton United and Mossley will be playing Championship football next season. In the Hampshire and Isle of Wight Premier Division, Southampton won it again, 6 points clear of Portsmouth in second, and Eastleigh are only 5 points away from Portsmouth, so it's not too distant between some of the teams. We could see Eastleigh or Aldershot catching up possibly in the next couple of seasons. Relegation for Hartley Whitney and Fawley. Herefordshire, this one was settled some time ago, with Hereford finishing on 72 points at the top. Pegasus Juniors finished second for the first time, qualifying for the Empire League for the first time on 26 points. Westfields and Uyas Harold in third and fourth respectively on goal difference. Uyas Harold just having a worse goal difference. Hertfordshire and Watford have won that again, obviously unbeaten in the season, 10 points ahead of Stevenage, 88 to 78. Boreham Wood 6 points behind Stevenage. Potters Bar, Tring Corinthians and Leverstock Green are the teams that are relegated. Kent, Gillingham, champions, unbeaten, 10 points clear, just like in the other one really. Ebbsfleet are second, they are 10 points clear of third place Dover, and then a smaller gap between Dover and fourth place Maidstone. Relegation for Rochester United, Sevenoaks and Whitstable. Lancashire and Blackburn are champions once again. They have taken the title back. They won it in the first season. Burnley won it the past couple of seasons, but Blackburn have won it back with a 6-point gap between them and second place Burnley, who take the Empire League spot instead. Preston in third, who are 11 points behind Burnley, and then slightly smaller gaps between them and fourth place Blackpool, fifth place Fleetwood, and sixth place Accrington, and seventh place Morecambe for that matter. 11th Bamber Bridge, down. 12th Lancaster City, down. So 2 teams relegated there. Leicestershire and Rutland, we know who's won this one. Leicester City are the only big team in Leicestershire and Rutland, and it shows with another 100% record season, 102 points in the end, 30 points clear of Colville Town in second. Barwell finished third. Leicester Road, Corn in fourth, Leicester Road in fifth, who have been promoted in the last couple of seasons, so well done to them. 16th, 17th and 18th for the teams that go down. Ayleston Park, Harborough and Lutterworth Athletic. Lincolnshire and Lincoln City, top, 4 points ahead of Scunthorpe United in second, and then a big gap between them and third place Grimsby. Boston United, the best of the rest, and the best of the rest is actually 3 points behind Grimsby, so there possibly might be a bit more of a gap between Grimsby and Scunthorpe than I thought. Barton Town and Boston Town all getting relegated. But Merseyside, Liverpool have regained their title. They lost it to Everton last season, but they are champions once more and finished on 88 points, 3 points ahead of Everton after their second match ended as a 2-2 draw. Southport are in third on goal difference ahead of Tranmere Rovers. Both of them on 73, and then 20 points ahead of Marine in fifth. Norwich City are champions once again, 100% record. They got a 16-point gap between them and second place Kings Lynn. Galston are the best of the rest on 55 points in third. Northamptonshire sees Northampton Town win it once more. Not a perfect season for them. They've dropped points in 5 matches and finished on 88 points, which is still 15 points better off than Brackley Town in second. Kettering were third, Daventry fourth, Saleby Rangers in fifth. Bugbrook and Rothwell Corinthians are relegated to the second tier. Northumberland, Tweedmouth champions once again. They did it by a single point, although their goal difference was a lot better, so if they had been on equal points, they still would have won it anyway. Blythe Spartans taking second place. I think that's their first runners-up position. No, it's their third. My apologies. I just, for some reason, I thought Morpeth were better, but they're not. And it shows in the final points tally there, being quite a difference between the two. Nottinghamshire, last season it was Mansfield, but this season Mansfield have dropped back down and let Nottingham Forest keep their spot as the best team in Nottinghamshire. 90 points for Nottingham Forest, 85 for Mansfield, and 77 points for Notts County. Dunkirk and Greenwood Meadows are the teams going down. Oxfordshire and Oxford United champions once again. 100% record, but only 10 points clear of Oxford City. Thame United finished third, 7 points behind Oxford City, and then North Lee, the best of the rest, it's those three, and then a big gap between the rest. Shropshire and Shrewsbury have won it again. They finished 92 points, 4 points ahead of second place TNS, who finished on 78, and then AFC Telford a bit of a distance behind them, 11 points the gap between second and third, and then a massive gap between them and fourth place Whitchurch. Somerset and Yeovil have done it again, 89 points they finished on, which was 14 points ahead of Poulton Rovers in second. Cheddar and Street are the teams going down there. While in Staffordshire, Stoke champions once again, only 3 points the gap this season, as they finished ahead of Burton Albion, who are the runners-up. Port Vale only 3 points behind Burton, so Port Vale showing a lot more of fight this season to try and possibly end Stoke's monopoly of the Staffordshire Premier Division. Tamworth are the best team of the rest, 85 points, but is still quite a gap between them and third place Port Vale. Suffolk, Ipswich champions again. Not a perfect season, but a decent one. Unbeaten in the end, 122 points. And there's a big gap between them and second place Needham Market, who still finished with over 100 points. Berry Town in third on 98, AFC Sudbury on 97. Some of the smaller teams may be starting to catch up on Ipswich. Surrey and Woking champions once again. Another one where it's not been a perfect season. They have dropped points in a few games, but they still finish with over 100 points, 105 to be exact. And that is 19 points clear of Staines in second. Leatherhead finished third, Dorking fifth. Chipstead, Camberley, Guildford and Hawley all relegated to the Championship. Sussex and Brighton and Hove Albion, they did have a perfect season. 100% record, only 7 goals conceded, 90 points, 10 points clear of Crawley in second, who finished on 80 points, and then a nice big gap between them and third place Eastbourne Borough, who finished themselves 2 points clear of Horsham. East Grinstead, Broadbridge Heath and Eastbourne Town relegated to the Championship. Tyne Wear, and it did finish a bit closer than it seemed in the last episode. Newcastle finishing on 96 points, still champions, but only 3 points clear of Sunderland in second and 4 points clear of Gateshead in third. Then it's the two Shields and Hebburn as per usual. Warwickshire, Stratford, they did it again. They frustrated the opponents, including Nuneaton, but Nuneaton dropped down to third, and Leamington are the runners-up this season on 83 points compared to Stratford's 90. Nuneaton ended up on 80, and then it's a bit of a gap between them and Coleshill in fourth. West Midlands, West Bromwich Albion, champions for the second time. They've taken their title back after Aston Villa overtook them last season. Aston Villa finishing 4 points behind them in the end, 108 points to 104, and then Birmingham in third on 101, Wolves in fourth on 100 points, Coventry in fifth on 83, and then Walsall rounding off the normal league teams on 78. Solihull Moors only 1 point behind Walsall. AFC Wolverinians, Sporting Calcer and Coventry Spinks are the teams making way for the promoted ones. Wiltshire, and in the end, Swindon, they didn't actually have any problem in the end, finishing on 105 points. Champions once again. Swindon Supermarine, their nearest challengers on 89, and then Chippenham on 88. Laverstock on fourth place on 85. Worcestershire, we know who won this one. I think Kidderminster had won it by the time we did the last episode. 76 points they finished on, which was 19 points clear of Alvechurch in second. Redditch finishing third on 53. Evesham in fourth on 49. Finally, the Yorkshire Premier Division. Leeds are champions once again. They let someone else win it last season, but that's all changed. Instead, they are champions once again, and it was only on goal difference. A good goal difference nonetheless. Over Barnsley nonetheless, but a goal difference win. So both of them finished on 96. Barnsley taking second spot and qualifying for the Empire League for the first time. And then third, Huddersfield, last season's champions, 95 points. So only a point behind. So this was a very close season in the top between the top three. Fourth for Hull on 86, Middlesbrough on 86 as well in fifth, but Hull with a better goal difference. Then Sheffield United, last season's runners-up in sixth, a disappointing season for them on 81 points, but they did finish ahead of their Steel City rivals, Sheffield Wednesday, who finished on 77, Rotherham in 8th, Doncaster 9th, Bradford 10th, York 11th. Relegation for 17th, 18th, 19th and 20th, which were Bradford Park Avenue, Farsley, Pontefract and Brighouse. So unlucky to them. One more division I'm going to check, and that's the Greater London Championship. We can see the playoff for a final result there, but we have a look at the final table. Sutton United did it with 107. Barnet went up on 102. So the two decent teams in that division went back up, and Welling, after getting relegated in their final season, or in the first season, sorry, have gone back up. Hayes and Yeading, last season's other relegated team, not so much. And so that is it for the Champions roll call for the 2022-23 season. Hope you've enjoyed. Next time, we'll have a roll call of the Cup winners, and also who's won in the Champions League, European and UK, including seeing the goals in the final of the Brexit Champions League, and the final may surprise you. So until then, like, subscribe, and rock on.